Welcome back to the Success Breakthrough series. I am C. Liu. I am your host for this series, where we dive deep into the journey of how ordinary people become extraordinary, who have really turned their dream into reality. The purpose of this series is to inspire you to dream big and overcome obstacles by embracing a mindset shift, a paradigm shift that can help you break through to your own success, whatever success means to you. Through this conversation, we will explore how perseverance, mentorship, and a strong support system can help anyone rise above challenges and achieving greatness. Today, I would like to introduce you my guest speaker. His name is M. Chan. M is a CBC. Well, many of you probably is like, what is CBC? That is a Canadian born Chinese who graduated from the University of Alberta. And this year, 2024, is his 28th year of policing with the Edmonton Police Service. His career highlight include being a member of the Edmonton Police Service mental health response team, supporting children as a detective in the Edmonton Police Service Child Advocacy Center. In bracket, we call it ZIPRA. Supervising the award-winning School Resource Officer Unit. And for the last 3 years, recruiting and selecting the next generations of police officers who serve the city of Edmonton. Welcome, M.
Thank you.
Now, I would love, and I believe my community is yearning to listen more about your story because you have a really interesting story, especially you are a Chinese and who graduate from university. We know that many Chinese parents, the first thing they tell their children is make sure you go to school, study hard, get your university degree, and become a doctor, a police, an engineer, a lawyer, or anything that is a professional level to what traditional Chinese parents think.
Yeah.
Not many Chinese parents will say, I am proud of you to become a police.
Hmm.
Do you mind to tell us more? What made you bring you into policing as your career?
You know, well, thank you again joining you, and I think it's very important to know the audience. So I really applaud those who are just joining you, see, who are curious and are very open to new ideas from a stranger from across the world. Right? So I think we are all so individual. Not all of us um, are born to be doctors, for instance. You give a good example, right? There are how many billions of people in this world? We do need so many great, young, promising people to explore their passion and to find their own individual way. With 7 billion people in this world, we don't need 7 billion doctors. We need a diverse amount of experience, diverse perspectives, and find your passion. And through finding a job that aligns with your passions and interests and values, you are just going to be a much happier person. And trust me, your parents will be proud of you, and your parents, I'm a parent myself, see, and the most important thing for me is to see that my children are happy and uh, exploring their passions. So, yes, I may have certain dreams for my kids. Who doesn't want to be something like, those traditional great things that Asian people value so much? But if it results in a sad, depressed child who doesn't feel fulfilled, I don't believe I've done my job as a parent. I want my kids to explore what they want. And by being a good parent, I'm supporting their dreams.
Now, Em, you talk about, yes, it's so important for our children to try different things to find their passion. Now, for my audience who might have limited access to try on different passions, different job, what is your suggestions for a student to approach their parents and say that I would like to try something different than what I usually see as a pharmacist, doctor, lawyer, what we see in the movie, right? What should they do, and what can a parents do to empower the student?
Yeah. You know, it's open communication, and you are a product of your parents. You were born and raised by them. They taught you how to speak, however many languages you know. Um, so you have, in a very magical way, you have also great influence on your parents. You, the interest that you have, whether it was uh, playing basketball, volleyball, badminton, whatever the sport is in your part of the world, it's very different than Canada. We play hockey here. Okay, uh, that's a difficult sport on ice, believe it or not. Okay, but your interests as well, right? Did you have an interest in art, cooking, musical instruments? So, whatever it was, at some point, you and your parents had that level of communication to say, hey, mom, hey, dad, I would like to take badminton lessons or whatever it is, violin, piano, art, whatever it is that you're exploring. And as you experience success in whatever you were exploring at that time, there's also those parallels to your educational choices. So if you think, boy, I'm more interested in, right, even becoming a police officer, right, because you're interviewing me, having that open communication with your parents and not surprising them, right? You're enrolled in dentistry school or medical school, and then all of a sudden you apply to the police academy. Well, that doesn't make a lot of sense to a lot of people. So I would say be open to your parents, explain to them why that makes you happy, right? Why that fulfills you as an individual person. Um, it's a brave step because we as children we want to please our parents as well, but it's also a mature thing. And I see this great trend with parents, even around the world, being more open in supporting their children. So be brave and have that open communication with your parents.
Hmm, I like that when you say that as a students, as a children, we should really pay attention to what we are good at, what is our interest. Now, you talk about open communication. Now, one thing I can tell you, Em, is like coming from a traditional Chinese family, we all know that our Chinese parents know no boundary. They will step into our boundary, and sometimes it's so hard to talk to them. And how
Yes.
many times our parent would say that you are still young. What did you know? You just study, and it's really shut down the children. How would we have an open communication with our parents who are so into their limiting belief and not willing to open up?
Well, and I imagine this most of this audience will be going through what we call in Canada grade school, right? So we go through grades 1 to 12 before we choose our way into university. And I apologize, I don't know the grade structures of where you are in your country, but um, the beautiful thing about grade school is that all of the kids are actually learning the same materials, the core materials, the whatever the language is, some sort of social studies, so some sort of liberal arts, some sort of math, and some sort of science, right? So, it's my belief that whatever route that you eventually take in your post-secondary journey, so your university or your college journey, um, still needs a good grade school basis, right? So as you're focusing in on performing well in those general courses in grade school, then that opens the door to all of these different options in your university career. So, having success in grade school, but then using those good communication techniques to your parents to say, yes, of course, I'm going to try in school, but this is my real interest. And I would like to go this route, mom and dad. I want to try this. This is what interests me. And in fact, I'm going to go volunteer to do that, or I'm going to, um, study more about my specific interest in that field, right? To show your parents that, wow, my child is truly interested and they're giving it their best no matter what they're doing right now. And that's setting them up for success in the next stages of life. So, you might not have a clear direction in your teens and even in your early 20s, but trust me, your parents want the best for you. But as a young adult, as a child, communicate with them, right? So that it's not a surprise. And we have to sell sometimes our parents, like sell yourself, right? Boy, there's a good future here too. Look at me, I'm a police officer. And you know what? We make a good living, we have good benefits. I have this many weeks of holidays, right? And all the benefits, whatever it is in the career that you choose, there's going to be something so awesome about it. And they can also see it through your happiness and you being very positive and living a very well balanced life. They will see that you are happy. And what parent doesn't want that for their child?
I like that. Sell yourself to your parents. And you're right. All parents want their child to be happy. Now, Em, from your personal experience, did you sell policing to your parents to get them to buy into it? And also, you mentioned that you are a parent too. Did your child sell his or her ambitions to you? How do you take it?
You know, right from an early age, one thing that I liked to do was to volunteer. And so when you think about volunteering, that's giving of yourself without an expectation of payment, right? So and I volunteered teaching youth English as a second language. I taught sports as well, so I love playing tennis. So I taught young people in tennis, and not expecting any payment back, right? So at an early age, I showed my parents I enjoyed helping others. So when you talk about policing, for me, that's one of the ultimate careers in having the ability to help others. And so at a young age, my parents could see the joy that I had from helping others and teaching them English as a second language or in teaching tennis, right? Another passion of mine. And so they knew young M, boy, he's good with people. He likes teaching. He likes helping. He likes seeing improvement. He likes sharing the joy. And I saw that in policing, right? The ability to make someone's day better. Because a lot of people will call the police because something bad has happened. They've had a bad experience. They've been victimized in a crime. And that was my opportunity to give back to them, to help them in a very caring way. So I guess in a way, very early on, I was training my parents that I would go into a career that was a very helping type of career.
Okay, I like that. I hope my audience write down notes because M is giving out really critical, important step for you, how to sell it to your parents, to persuade your ambition. Now, M, what role have mentors play in your life? And what advice would you give to someone seeking guidance on their path to success?
So, mentors, it's such a important um, person. And a mentor, there's no limitation to who a mentor can be. They can be a teacher, they can be a coach, they can be someone younger, they can be someone older. It doesn't matter. For me, a mentor means anyone who I can learn something good from. Everyone brings something to the table. See, I really believe that. Everyone can contribute in a positive way. So for me, I like to be very observant when I'm in a meeting or when I'm doing a project with someone at work. Every individual person can be a mentor to me because I am able to look at him or her and go, he has something to offer, she has something to offer. And so they are giving me, another way you can put it, I am stealing from them some of their best traits and qualities um, for myself. So if you think of a mentor as someone who is a teacher or giving you, passing something of value back to you, I see everyone as my mentor. And I know that even in your podcast, there are people who will be my kids' age that I'll learn lots from them as well, right? Be humble and understand that you can learn something from everybody.
See the good in everyone and learn the good from them. I love that. That was a really good learning and strategy. Now, Em, in your opinions, what are the key characteristics that differentiate ordinary people from those who actually achieve extraordinary success?
Well, I really like this one term. I don't know if you've heard it wherever you are in this world. The term is grit. GRIT. So I'm going to put it another way, determination, motivation, perseverance in the face of adversity. Okay, so those are a lot of big words, but grit is the key word here because if you have a goal, whether it's an individual goal or a team goal, and you're using your motivation, your perseverance, not everything will be successful, right? It isn't a smooth journey. Life isn't easy all the time. You'll encounter barriers and hardships, absolutely. But by showing good grit, determination, perseverance, motivation, not giving up is something that'll bring you much closer to your goal. Um, so if anything here, in my time with you, look up that word, grit, GRIT, and keep that in mind.
Right. I totally agree, Em. Whew, life is hard sometimes, right? It's not a straight line. It's like up and down, taking a
Yeah,
roller coaster.
true.
And in time of challenges, as Napoleon Hill said, in the face of adversity, there's always the good of a seed in it. Find the good in it. Now, we know that when we try to go through life, there are challenges and it's real challenges and it's difficulties and it's hard and it
Yeah,
really impacts us emotionally. And
yeah,
even sometimes we have fear and doubt.
yeah,
And even everyone around you say that, oh my God, look how bad it is.
yeah,
What is the key thing that you think? Besides grit, I know I need to stand up again. But then
yeah.
during that time when you feel alone, how can you really stand up again and build on your stand up muscle and keep going? What do you think is the best thing that a person can do and help them during this time?
Well, you understand that there's a bigger picture, right? And your life, you only get one life. It is so valuable, right? So, and I know you've heard this before, right? I'm not telling you anything all your smart audience members don't already know, but if after you look up the word and definition for grit, right? Look up the definition for resiliency. Okay, so when you have been knocked down from your goal for whatever reason and you're showing resilience and grit, and picking yourself up, right? Brushing yourself off. Okay, I'm going to refocus. I'm going to use my positive energy and get back on track with that goal. Um, just be resilient. Okay, and you're right. Life is a roller coaster ride. See, and there's ups and downs, and there's unexpected twists and turns. Whether it's with your relationship with your friends or your parents, your own health, their health, moving away to a different part of the world to try something new, right? You recognize there's a big goal that you want to achieve, and that's happiness in your life. That is so important. So your life is worth living, and happiness is worth finding. So keep going for it.
Hmm. The big word, vision, right?
Yeah,
We have a vision for our life. There's a purpose for our life. Now, what daily habits or routine do you practice to maintain your motivations and focus? Because some days you do look in the mirror and say, for God's sake, are you kidding me?
yeah,
Might as well stay simple and live an ordinary life.
yeah. So I don't care if you're living in Canada and there's snow on the ground and it's cold today, or you're in Brunei or Hong Kong, China, wherever you are. Um, everyone needs to preserve their health. Okay, so your physical health with good exercise. So even as a 50-something-year-old man, I exercise many times per week. It it recharges me. It keeps my mind sharp. It keeps me positive, and I believe I'm more resistant to getting sick as well with good exercise, good nutrition, good rest. And with exercise, I've already talked to you about playing tennis, right? I love hockey, and I have a joke that I do a triathlon every weekend. My triathlon is golfing, hockey, and pickleball, right? Those three things are my triathlon, and I look forward to that. And it brings me close to friends that I've known for a long time, but it introduces me to new friends as well. And I think is very healthy physically, mentally, psychologically, and it clears my mind so that I'm in the best shape to do my work. Because when you get down to work, that's right, well, it's getting serious again, and I need to focus, and I have deadlines to meet, and I have targets to reach. Um, what you do in your personal life impacts your professional life. So health, and you're a nurse, C, so I hope you can appreciate that.
Right. Yes. Yes. And absolutely. For me, for years, I'm like, I don't like yoga. I don't like pickleball. I don't like this. I don't like that. What is the best thing for me? So in the last few years, I get into the Qigong wisdom. So
Mm,
nowadays I do practices first thing in the morning and even in the afternoon on the days that when I'm really stressful. I
yeah,
would say, okay, I need to take 5 minutes just to recenter into me and
yeah,
do my Qigong meditation.
right.
And I remember one of my mentors say, huh, see, it's interesting. You're always late to our meeting. And I always have the excuse
Oh,
like, Bob, the traffic is really crazy out there. And then he always say, huh, the traffic only come out when you were driving. So, so
right.
I'm like, oh, there's no way to win the conversation with him. So
Mm,
every time I remember the best practice he told me, whenever you feel stressed,
mm,
do your gratitude journal.
mm.
And I always say that, can you not hear that? I have no time. And then he said, do your gratitude journal. And it really works because
Yes,
it really calm me down and be grateful for whatever I have.
right.
Yes, because when you are grateful for
Yep.
whatever you have, more good thing will come to you.
Yeah.
Just like what another of my mentors say, whatever you appreciate, appreciate. And so am now I really enjoy our conversations. I don't want to take too much of your time. My one last question for you is,
Sure.
how do you handle setback and how do you stay resilient in the face of adversity? Like if you have to give three simple technique our audience can really do it right now, what would you recommend them to do in order to bounce back if they are facing challenges right now? Especially right now, it's the end of the year, everyone is busy, and some of my audience are going in for a final exam.
Uh-huh.
What strategy would you give it to them to refresh, recharge, and renew? And by the way, it also the end of the year, a lot of our audience are getting their report card back home to their parents. For those who do not achieve the marks that their parents want them to.
Hmm. Hmm. Well, and you remember you're achieving your marks for yourself, right? You're not, your report card isn't for your mom or your dad because they already have their careers. They've already set their path in life. So you're doing this for yourself. And a report card can be a reflection of how much effort you have put into your studies, how much preparation time for your tests and for your assignments and your projects. So it is in many ways the feedback that your teachers are giving you on how well you paid attention and how much time and effort you put into that task, right? So take that feedback. Okay, so if it's an A, if it's 99%, 100%, whatever it is, then stay on that path. However, if it is a 60%, there's room for improvement, right? And that's just school's way of telling you there's more opportunity for improvement because you're going to get that from work as well. Whatever work you choose to go into, you're going to have a boss. And your boss, sure, they can give you an annual performance report or a report card, and they'll give you feedback on how well you did. I don't know how many people on a steady basis get 100, 100, 100 and fly through their career, right? I don't know that that's realistic, right? It's probably not. So take the feedback. And when we talked about life being a roller coaster, so is your perhaps your work performance or your work outcomes. But with grit and resilience, there's two words that I hope we take away from this. Um, uh, you'll learn that, okay, I got 50%. That means I have a whole lot more effort and attention that I can give. Um, and that's the report card or the teacher's way of telling me that I have so much more to give. Okay, so keeping in mind that it's not also the end of, your life isn't lost. Oh my goodness, I got a 50%. No, it's what you can do to bounce back, and what you have learned from those past setbacks or failures that make you the person who you will be for the rest of your life. Okay, so um, don't take the highs too high and don't take the lows too low. Just go with it and see the big picture. It's very easy for this old man to tell you that, but someday, hopefully, someday you'll get it and realize, yeah, why did I get so upset about that test? I only got 90%. I should have gotten 100. And, my friends did better, or I failed, whatever it is, it's okay. Okay, don't get down on yourself because focus on the big picture. One test doesn't make or break you, or one word from your mom and dad, one cruel word doesn't make or break you. Um, Find joy in your life and be confident in yourself. I know. See, you asked me for three reasons. I don't know. I don't know if I gave you three reasons, but yeah, more kind of just a long-winded answer.
Yes, you did. You pack all things into one. And exactly like what you say. on a report card, on every evaluation feedback we get from either our boss, our teacher, our parents, we always focus on the bad thing, right? You could be doing 37 things right, and just the one thing that could be the red mark, and that could be say, there's room for improvement. Then that's it. Our whole month, whole day, we're focusing on the one thing, and we forgot all the good thing that we did. Like you say, focus on the good in everyone. And the red thing on your report card or the one not so good feedback is just say that you have room for improvement. And as human, we're always improving. We're always trying to improve to be the best of who we can be, not trying to impress other people, but a challenge to be the better me, right? Oh, I love the time with you, Em. Now, I know a lot of my audience like, can I just bring you home to be the dad that I want? Who is so open-minded and who is so caring and loving and so encouraging. I know that we have limited time here, and a lot of my audience like, oh, I wish I'm in Edmonton. I wish M is my mentor. Guess what, audience? Our EPS is going internationally to a higher police officer. Is that true, M?
It is absolutely true. Hi, and people have the dream of living in Canada, and it's a great country, right? And I take pride in the country that you're in. This is going international. There's so many positives in every country, but if it's Canada that you choose and you have a helping heart, a helping spirit, and once in a while you like some excitement, but the key thing is that you enjoy being a part of a team and having really amazing team members working towards a goal. Um, Being a police officer in Canada is wonderful, and maybe explore that in your country as well.
Mm. Thank you, Em. Thank you for having these conversations with me and for our audience. Now, audience, if you're inspired by this conversation and really want to take the next step in your journey, I invite you. Maybe private message me or drop me a comment below. As we're coming to a closing of 2024, I wish you the best and dream for 2025 to be an even better year for you. And this interview is really to help you transform your dream and take the action. Together, let's empower each other to embrace our potential and create extraordinary life for you. I hope to see you in our next conversation.